Hey guys, so as I'm sitting here trying to edit everything, I am realizing that I am just slightly out of focus through the whole thing. And it's really frustrating because it looked like it was in focus on my camera, but I'm just slightly out of focus, so I apologize. At least my editing works, I guess. Oh boy. So, enjoy the video. Thanks for being here. Have a good night, guys.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Rosey's Reading Room. If you're new here, hi, I'm Rosey. Welcome to my reading room. And it's been a while. It's been a while since we sat down and chatted about a book. Last time I did this, it was almost Christmas break, and now it's almost summer break. So it's gonna be an even longer stretch of time where I actually get to read things instead of doing a bunch of schoolwork or having a sport or something like that. So yeah, and it's currently raining. Last time it was snowing, but it's raining because, you know, April showers bring May flowers and whatnot. But today we are here. We are going to be talking about one of my favorite coming of age books. It has love, it deals with love and loss, it deals with siblings, it deals with a bunch of stuff, and it's beautifully written, and it's kind of written weird, but I'll explain that in a second. So grab your favorite blanket, a snack, and let's get right to it. Okay, where's my book? Hello? There it is. Okay. So the book I'm going to be talking about today is I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. It was originally published by Penguin Random House? Yeah, Penguin Random House Publishing. And it is a coming of age novel, but it's also a young adult novel, and I'll explain that in a second. And it's for ages probably 13 to 17, because that's the age of the characters in the book. So pretty much this book is about twins, Noah and Jude Sweetwine. Noah tells his perspective of when him and Jude are 13. And in the other chapters, Jude tells the story of when they're 16, 17. This book will have you sitting there and you'll read something of Noah's, and then you'll immediately go to Jude's chapter and be like, I remember him, like I remember this happening in Noah's. This is what Jude thought. You get one track in each chapter. So when things tend to overlap, which they do, you're like, oh my goodness, I remember that. Noah and Jude are both vying. They're both vying for spots at this art academy. Noah really wants to go, and Jude doesn't really want to go. Jude doesn't really like art, and Noah is battling with the idea in his chapters that he's gay. And he's afraid to tell his parents, one, because he doesn't want his dad to hate him, and two, he doesn't want his sister to not love him. Something happens at a party back in Noah's years that makes them stop talking. And I'm not going to ruin it. There's death in this. You find out in Jude's chapters that their mom died. Their mom's car accidentally drove off a cliff, and their dad kind of shut down, and they stopped talking, and Jude blames herself. So Jude is described as light. When Noah describes painting Jude, he describes painting sunlight for hair. But Noah is dark, just like their dad. So like Jude is like their mom, and they butt heads, and Noah's like their dad, and they butt heads. And I wrote things down, like, where'd my book go? If you see, let me find it. I highlighted, and I wasted a highlighter. My friend Aislinn let me borrow her highlighter, and I wasted it, you know, like I wrote in it, and I never write in books. And I loved this book. And I also really enjoyed each of their voices, because Noah's voice when they're a kid is a lot different than Jude's voice now. Noah's voice when they're a kid, you can definitely tell he's 13. You can definitely tell he's trying to find himself. He doesn't know much about the world. You can definitely tell he loves his sister, that they share a bond, that, you know, he's very immature. And in Jude's point of view, you can tell she's been through a lot. Jude's point of view, it's been, I think, a year or two after mom's death. Like Jude, you can tell Jude is very upset. She's very like, you know, I want mom to be happy. I want mom to be proud of me. Like, I miss Noah, you know, dad. I miss dad being dad. Like dad kind of checked out after mom's death, you know, and they're very different voices, and I really, really liked that. But Jandy Nelson did a very good job at differentiating between Noah's and Jude's, with the vocabulary, with the tone, with, you know, and it was very It was very intriguing once I got into it. And if I had to rate it out of 10, I would probably give it a 9. 9.5 actually. I'd give it a 9.5 out of 10. It was a very intriguing story. It was very well put together, even after my doubts in the beginning, and I really truly loved this book. But I would recommend this book to anybody. Yeah, otherwise I don't really have any qualms. That's like, I don't care. I don't have any like things about it. With all of my book reviews, I pick an actor who I think would represent the characters. For this one, I think I'm going to do Noah when he is 13 and Jude when she is 16. For Noah when he's 13, I was thinking a young Logan Lerman. You know, probably from Hoot, maybe a little bit older, not quite Percy Jackson, or maybe Perks of Being a Wallflower, maybe that kind of Logan Lerman. And then Jude, I had her as Olivia Holt. She's a Disney actress, but Jude cut off all of her hair, and I can't find a picture of Olivia Holt with a bob, so the picture I'm gonna put up, just imagine her with a bob, okay? Just imagine. So Logan Lerman. And then we have Olivia Holt. So first of all, before I get to reading parts of the passages, I want to give a little warning about, I swear when I read part of Noah's, and it gets a little weird because Noah, as he's getting tormented by his bullies, he gets an erection and he's really worried about the bullies finding out. So I apologize for the choice of words used, and I just wanted to give like a little, like, what is it called? A warning, I guess, for my language, and yeah, just for my language really. So I'm going to be reading a part of chapter 1, Noah. It's called The Invisible Museum, and he's getting terrorized by bullies right now. They're ripping sketches out of his, sketchbook and ripping him up and stuff, and this is when he gets away. A sickly ferret feeling is burrowing itself into every corner of my body as I pant my last breaths. And even if they don't kill me here and now, by tonight everyone on the hill will know what just happened. I might as well swallow a lit stick of dynamite and hurl my own self off a devil's drop. This is worse, so much worse than seeing some stupid drawings. Self-portrait, funeral in the forest. But Zephyr's not saying anything. He's just standing there, looking like his Viking self, except all weird and mute. Why? Did I disable him with my mind? No. He gestures in the direction of the ocean and says to Fry, "Hell with this. Let's grab the slabs and head out." Relief swallows me whole. Is it possible he didn't feel it? No, it isn't. It was steel, and he jumped away totally freaked out. He's still freaked out. So why isn't he pussy homo bubbling me? Is it because he likes Jude? Fry twirls a finger by his ear as he says to Zephyr, "Someone's frisbee is seriously on the roof, bro." And then to me, "When you least expect it, Bubble." He mimes my free fall off the devil's drop with his mid of a hand. It's over. They're headed back towards the beach. Before they changed their Neanderthal minds, I hustled over to my pad, slip it under my arm, and then, without looking back, I speed walk into the trees like someone whose heart isn't shaking, whose eyes aren't filling up, someone who doesn't feel so newly minted as a human. When I'm in the clear, I blast out of my skin like a cheetah. They go from 0 to 75 miles per hour in 3 seconds flat, and I can too, practically. I'm the 4th fastest in 7th grade. I can unzip the air and disappear inside it, and that's what I do until I'm far away from them. And what happened? At the creek, I jump rocks until I find a good cave where I can watch the sun swimming inside the rushing water for the next 100 years. There should be a horn or gong or something to wake God, because I'd like to have a word with him. 3 words, actually. What the fuck? After a while, having gotten no response as usual, I take out the charcoals from my back pocket. They somehow survive the ordeal intact. I sit down and open my sketchbook. I black out a whole blank page, and then another, and another, and another. I press so hard, I break stick after stick, using each one down to the very nub, so it's like the blackness is coming out of my fingers, out of me, and onto the page. I fill up the whole rest of the pad. It takes hours. A series. Boy inside a box of darkness. This is chapter 2, The History of Luck. Jude, age 16, 3 years later. The bell rings, and there they are, the other Clay's second years, every last one of them ready to suffocate me with a pillow. Oops. I mean, staring dumbfounded at my sculpture. The assignment was to do another self-portrait. I went abstract, as in blobs. DeGates had dancers. I have blobs. Broken, glued together blobs. This is my 8th. What's working here, says Sandy Ellis, master ceramicist, clay instructor, and my advisor, the way he begins every critique. No one says a word. The proper California school of the aliens feedback sandwich starts and ends with praise. In between, people say the terrible things they really think. I scan the room without moving my head. The sophomore clay crew is a pretty good sampling of the CSA student body. Freak flags of every variety flying proud and loud. Normal run-of-the-mill people like me, except for a few discreet ticks, sure, who doesn't have something, are the exception. I know what you're thinking. It's Noah who belongs to the school, not me. Usually everyone jumps right in, but the only sound in the studio is the electric hum of the fluorescent lights. I study the time of Mom Old's watch. She was wearing it when her car sailed off the cliff 2 years ago, killing on impact, as it ticks around my wrist. Come on, guys, positive impressions of Broken Me Blob number 8. Sandy slowly strokes his straggly beard. If we're all morphed into our mirror animals, a game Noah and me played constantly when we were little, Sandy would poof into a billy goat. We've been talking about this point of view, he says. Let's discuss CJ's, shall we? CJ, short for Calamity Jane Jude, is what everyone at the school calls me on the kind of my bad luck. It's not just breakage in the kiln. Last year in the pottery studio, some of my bowls allegedly took flying leaps off the shelves at night when no one was around, when the windows were all closed, when the closest earthquake was in Indonesia. The night janitor was confounded. Everyone was but me. Alright guys, that is it. That is my review of I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. Let me back up. Hold on. This book is really good for coming of age, especially from Noah's point of view, because Noah is dealing with his sexuality, which a lot of teenagers go through. A lot of people I know are still going through this, like trying to figure out who they are, like with their sexuality. And it was interesting to see him grow. Like throughout his chapters, it was interesting to see him find himself. And it was also interesting to see how Noah turned out in Jude's point of view, and how Jude grew from Noah's point of view into her point of view that we see. And I know that all sounds confusing. It was really confusing to me, and it's really good young adult because you have Jude's point of view. It also deals with a lot of like more coming of age moments, like sexuality. You deal with loss, the loss of a parent, sibling rivalries, stuff like that. And it deals with like kind of run-of-the-mill things, your first kiss, your first boyfriend, your first girlfriend. Actually, let me go back. A weakness that got me really angry was you find out that Jude loses her virginity to a 19-year-old when she's 14. And but Jude talks about how when it happened, she's like, I didn't know your own silence could be deafening. She was out with Zephyr, the guy who was beating up on her brother the night her mom died. And that's why she blames herself. And when I read it, I got really angry because, we talked about consent with Inexcusable, and we talked about consent with, Speak and stuff like that. And like, it really frustrated me that she was conveying no, but he wasn't getting it. So I know I went back and said, I didn't really have any weaknesses. It didn't really have any weaknesses, but I guess that's what really made me angry. So, all right. So thank you guys so much for being here today. If you like it, please like, comment, and subscribe. Have a wonderful day. Good luck with finals. And in the memorable words of Stanley, Excelsior. Have a good day, guys. Bye.